How's it, guys? I'm Brandon and welcome to another Snap Change Media car review. I've been spending a week with the Omoda C7 and it brings about a lot of value for money. The C7 is Omoda's third vehicle to enter the market, and when it came out I wasn't too interested with it. I didn't really like the looks of it and all of that, but now that I've spent some time with it, I can appreciate it. It has a modern exterior and the interior build quality is very nice. I've been quite impressed by it, especially the dashboard and what the seats feel and look like. The C7 is available in 3 models. There's 2 models that's powered by a 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine, so no more 1.5 litre in this model, so you guys can be happy for that, and it does bring about more power. Under the bonnet is a 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine that makes 145 kilowatts and 290 newton meters of torque via a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And then there's also a plug-in hybrid that has a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine together with an electric motor. I'm not sure, maybe 2 electric motors, but I'll put that up on the screen. And then yeah, pricing starts at 540,000 Rand for the entry-level C7. The mid-spec model will cost you 590,000 Rand, and then that top-spec plug-in hybrid will cost you 690,000 Rand. And that will bring about a lot more power, more efficiency, but it will have the same spec like the top-spec model, 1.6 litre turbocharged petrol engine. So yeah, let's jump into this video. And then from the exterior, the car looks very futuristic. It has modern LED daytime running lights up front with LED daytime running lights and LED headlights, and then there's also some lights integrated in the bumper that's very interesting, looks very futuristic, and if you're into that sort of thing you would be happy to get that. And then yeah, it has the shark front, very aggressive bonnet, which looks kind of cool. Like I said, I wasn't too fond of it when the car was released. I was like, oh, another Chinese car. Do you know what I mean? Because there's plenty Chinese cars entering our market, and like I said in the intro, this car brings about a lot of value for money. And then you'll also ask me, but Brandon, why are you wearing a Nissan cap if you're driving a Chery product? So just to bring you guys up to speed with why I'm doing this is because the Nissan plant in Pretoria has been sold to Chery South Africa, so they will be taking over the plant. Next year I think they'll be up and running, and I'm hoping to get invited to that. So please, if you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button. That would go a long way. I'm also trying to get the sponsorship for my channel, for the YouTube channel. I have Instagram as well as Facebook, and I'm now and then on TikTok, and I like to keep that a bit more personal and just talk more freely on there. So yeah, that's me, and I also have a Facebook channel. It's called Brandon Jacobs. You guys can follow me there. I wonder if I'm too dark, but yeah, it is the way the sun is shining. Let's open up the panoramic sunroof, which is one of the specifications that you get in this car. And then also the car rides a bit higher, because it's an SUV, so you get that ground clearance, and then also has nice bold rims on the side profile. You get keyless entry, color-coded mirrors, color-coded door handles. And I don't think this model has privacy tint, or it might have. You'll see that on the outside. And yeah, it has sort of a sloping roof line, and the car looks very aggressive, very forward facing, and Chery says that it has like an in-motion design. I'm not too sure about that. You guys can decide for yourself if you like it, because obviously that's subjective. I do think the car looks cool. It's very aggressive, very modern looking and styling. And that also comes together with all the tech on the inside. At the rear, the boot opens automatically. Well, not automatically, electronically. You can open it from the key fob or click it, which is quite cool. There's also a decent amount of boot space. And yeah, we'll check on the video when I do the walk around if there's a spare wheel at the back, because I'm not too sure of that. So yeah, jumping on the inside, it is nicely finished. I like that. There are some hard plastics, but there are loads of soft touch, and it has like a leatherette together with like a, what do you call this, Alcantara type, but it feels like a scuba suit type finishing, and I do like that. That's also finished on these seats, and they look very modern, very premium, very similar to the top of the line C9, which is more expensive. So I like that. You also get the steering wheel with sort of a flat top and flat bottom. It has a dual spoke steering wheel, multifunctional, and then that houses the cruise control and the limiter as well as the controls for the infotainment system screen. The driver display is ultra thin and wide, but it's very clear, very concise. I like it. I like that it's not too big and not too loud, and high resolution. It has that display that shows you motorbikes, people walking, pedestrians, trucks, and it's quite cool, very modern, like I said. And then there's this massive infotainment screen on the left hand side, which is very loud. It's also very clear, and it hosts the controls for like the heated seats, so heated seats and ventilated seats on this model, which is quite cool, especially considering the price tag, which I didn't get into. No, I did get into it. I told you guys the price. So yeah, there's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 360 view camera. There's a gallery, so you can save some files onto the internal onboard settings of the screen. And what I don't like is it doesn't have a built-in sat nav, but you can get that through your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's also a wireless charger, 50-watt wireless charger, so that charges your phone up very quickly. That also has a ventilated bit over here, so it can keep your phone cool while it's charging. Down below there's another parcel shelf at the bottom here, just like found in a lot of other Chinese cars, and it has a USB Type-C and Type-A connection point. So I like that it has both of it, although the Type-C is only for charging, and then the other one is to connect to the infotainment screen. Like I said, the dashboard is finished with this nice material, feels like a scuba suit. And there's also air vents on top here, air vents on the side, air vents on the door panel as well. And it really looks very elegant. I like that it's darkened out and blacked out. That together with the roof liner, amazing. Winning already. The interior space is probably the standout feature for me, because I'm not too fond of the exterior, although I can appreciate what it looks like, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers and customers can appreciate that as well. The driving position is also adjustable, so you can adjust your steering wheel for rake and reach, and you can adjust the seat electronically as you please. And it also has lumbar support on these seats. It's very comfortable. I can find myself going on a long road trip with this. And that's the same with the rear seats. Very comfortable. There's cup holders in the center, ISOFIX, and yeah, very cool car. I do like the spaciousness of the car. That is probably the draw point of this vehicle. And then this car is built on the same underpinnings as the J7, which I also like. That car is also available with a petrol drivetrain as well as a petrol plug-in hybrid drivetrain. And I've spent a lot of time with that car. I actually drove that car from Cape Town to the Addo Elephant Park in the Eastern Cape, and that car was very fuel efficient in the plug-in hybrid spec. But like all Chinese cars, it doesn't have good throttle calibration on the petrol internal combustion engines. It's a bit delayed. It's very off-putting for me. But I'm quite surprised that most people are fine with that, especially because of the price tag. Because we are South Africans, we are struggling. Our government is Dirkskelm, as we've all been now witnessing firsthand at the Madlanga Commission and all of that. Guys, what the heck? Even these Chinese cars that look and seem affordable would have been even more cheaper if it wasn't for all of that. So Chinese cars are cheaper because their government are subsidizing their vehicles, making it cheaper for the brands to sell it and import and all of that stuff to get it on sale for our market. So it's kind of like a civil war. The Chinese are trying to get control of the market and take it away from the Western world, from all the legacy brands. So be mindful about that in purchasing this car. Again, like I said, the Nissan Roslyn plant will be taken over by Chery South Africa soon, and they will be building a lot of the Chery products. This is one of the Chery products, as well as the Jetto T2 is one of the Chery products that will be built right here in South Africa, proudly South African. And I think that will commence from next year onward. Like I said, I want to get invited to that, so subscribe please. And then what I've noticed about the plant tour that I did in China when visiting the Chery plant, I went there with Lepus, which is another one of the Chinese brands, is that most of the vehicle line like the way they're making the cars in the factory is automated. So it's a lot of robots making the car, and I'm a bit scared that when they come into our country, that that those people at the Roslyn plant will lose jobs. Yes, Chery has said that they will give those people first preference for jobs, but what happens when it gets automated? Because it's like 90% automated in China, and I'm sure that they're going to be following the same production lines as they follow in here to make the same car. Do you know what I mean? So be mindful of that. This car is very good. I understand that it's affordable and that's why you're going for these cars, but what's going to happen to our market later on down the line? So that is a worry of mine. But other than that, the car is an amazing car. I like it, besides the throttle calibration and, like I said, what it looks like on the exterior. So yeah, it's up to you guys to decide. It's your money at the end of the day, but choose wisely. I suggest you test drive the car, jump into other cars, test it back to back, try and get it in the same week or in the same month at least, and then yeah, make your decision. And let's do a quick walk around. Check how the lights do a dance when you unlock it, and then there's also some lights over here in the bumper. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. So yeah, LED daytime running lights, LED headlights, those funky lights over there, spotlights, fog lights down below. There's a parking camera up front with this cool frameless grille, with hexagonal patterns on it, typical Chery vibes. There's also parking sensors down below. Like I said, there's this lighting vibe over here. It says Omoda on the bonnet, which has this very aggressive look to it. It's like a shark vibe to it, and Omoda says that it's a in motion design, so it looks like the car is moving all the time. And then these are the rims, two-tone rims with those red brake calipers peeking through. What are the size of these rims? I think they're 19 inch. Yes, they're 19 inch. And then on the higher up spec you get 20 inch alloys. Suspension is nicely tuned, so you can expect a good driving experience. And then in the mirrors, integrated indicators. There's cameras over there. I think it's a camera and a sensor. No, it's a light and a camera with the silver trimming going through. Color coded door handles with keyless entry. Nice wheel cladding that goes all along the side like that. And then coming to the rear, so there's no privacy tint. There's this funky design at the back. Blacked out, looks like roof rails, but it's not functional. Then there's a spoiler up above, and yeah, that's what the vehicle looks like. Also nice wheel cladding around the wheel arches. And then coming to the rear, more funky LED lights, looks like lightning bars. And I'll unlock the car and lock it again so you guys can see what it does. It does a little dance like that, very cool function. And again, there's a parking camera, parking sensors. It says C7 over there, and it says Omoda along the vehicle. Let's open up the boot, electronically opening. Very, very spacious. And like I said, that's the draw card of this car. It's very spacious. It also has the shelf covering, so you can hide away your goodies. Perfect for us South Africans and our Camptonians with all the hijacking and all of that. There's a hook over there, 12-volt socket, and let's open it up. Struggling to open. And there is a spare wheel. Very nice. I like that. It also has a subwoofer at the back, another 3 kg hook on this side, and you can see the seats fold down 60-40 for more space. Let's close it up and jump inside. Keyless entry, so you don't need the key to unlock it. You just need the key in your pocket. The car will unlock when you come closely. Multifunctional steering wheel, dual screens for the infotainment system and the driver display. Twin spoke on the steering wheel. It is a multifunctional steering wheel. These are the controls for the infotainment system, and that's for the cruise control. I don't think there's lane keep assist on this model because it's the entry level model. The upper class model will also get Sony sound system, and together with some more features. I like the way these seats are finished. Nice two-tone twin finishing. It's leatherette with this like a scuba diving suit seat. And then let's open up panoramic sunroof. Okay, there's a panoramic sunroof. Doesn't want to open now, the car's not on. And then the door panel is also nicely finished with this two materials again. The scuba type material and then the leather material. Some plastics on the inside, but they are nicely built. sound good, nice and solid. And yeah, that's the controls, and this is how you open the door. Very cool, very modern. Okay, let's just go wide. I'll show you what this looks like. Those are the seats. You get nice space on the inside over there. My cable is here, I mustn't forget that. Wireless charging, 50-watt wireless charger, drive mode select, volume control, and then these are the other buttons over there for demisting, indicators, and for your AC. And then this is what the shelf looks like at the bottom. You can store more things there. 2 USB connectivity points, type A and type C, and then a 12-volt socket on that side. And these are the light system, so automatic headlights. You also get fog lights in the front and the rear, electronically controlled seats. And let's jump to the back, show you how spacious it is. This is the seats again, nice finishing. And then you get 2 cup holders on the inside. The floor panel is also nice, doesn't have too much of a hump, so the middle passenger can be comfortable as well. There's air vents with type C and type A connection points, and that's what it looks like up front. Obviously you won't have the camera up over there, but a massive infotainment screen, which is what we come to know with Chinese cars. And also like that these seats are nicely finished. Oh, what is this? Let's put it back there. Okay, so that's the car. I'll show you again what it looks like from the outside. This is the wider view now. That's what it looks like, the silhouette. Yeah, let's move around. Up front, let's check that lighting system out one more time. Check at the lights. Let's just go this way. Okay. Shout out for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Again, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys at the new one. Peace.